So, very good afternoon to everyone. Honorable member of the dais, the Bawa, the Vice Chancellor, members, and students today. Don't you feel happy? It's a graduation day. It's a convocation day for you. It is one of those moments of life which you shall remember in times to come. These pictures you show to your children, grandchildren of this day. You should be very, very happy today. I want to see a smile on each of your face. Real happiness remain with it. That's good. I'll tell you why it is important. You know what? In today's time and in my learning and experiences, one thing I've realized, the ability to be happy in spite of the creation of wealth is diminished. We have stopped relishing the moment, the moment of happiness. Today, when I look at you, the first thing that was coming to mind as I stood here was, it's such an important day for you, such an important moment for you. No? You should be brimming with happiness. I think when the convocation started, the first sentence that was used was a blissful morning. I loved it. I've never heard this sentence before any convocation. So if first message that I want to leave with you of all my years of experiences, and just that I was born a bit many years before you, so I walked the earth a bit before you, so I have some experiences here, is that in life you will earn a lot of money, you will earn a lot of fame, you will earn a lot of whatever you want, desire, you will earn that. Don't lose the charm of being happy and relishing every moment. And that's the first thing that I want all of you to understand. The second thing which I learned over time in my life was when I was younger and I was doing well for myself, I would think that I'm all powerful. I'm God's gift to mankind. That kind of arrogance would start coming into it. But as you move further, you realize that it just doesn't happen like that. One, you have to be destined to be in the right place, right time. Everybody works hard. No? You have to have a lot of luck, support, lot of influences of your people, of your team, of your family member, of your spouse, of your friends. Everybody's contribution goes in making who you are. An eternal sense of gratefulness is the second thing which I learned over time. An eternal sense of gratefulness. When you are sitting here today, you have degrees in computer science and engineering, which in a way propels you. Are you aware that 40% of the billionaires of the world are engineers? And most of them are computer engineers. So you are already destined with your family background, an amazing university like Chandigarh University, you have studied here, you have got a degree. You're destined to make it big. You already are. If you don't do stupid stuff, you're destined. But do you think you have reached here just on your own? Without the help of your family, your parents, your teachers, your friends, you may not realize it now. Today when you sit here and you think, you may be thinking, and I used to do the same, that whatever I have achieved is because of my hard work, because of my being there. But I want you to think for a moment. Think for a moment. Today, when you sit on this chair, holding your degrees, and today when you embark on this journey of making it big in life, of making a lot of money, power, fame, whatever you desire, you are starting a journey. But would you have reached here without the support of your parents? Would you have reached here without the playfulness of your friends, the taunt, the push, the challenge, the abuses? Would you have been sitting here today without their support? Would you have been sitting here without the support of your teachers, the encouragement? I saw the Vice Chancellor telling you all, smile so good. I saw the Vice Chancellor saying, God bless you. The genuine care and the love that the teachers have building you up. Would you have? Be grateful. spend a moment being grateful. Yeah. How many people in this world would be having the opportunity of sitting here? The second lesson of my life, which I learned over time, to always be at all moments be grateful for what. If I talk about statistics and data, it is shown very clearly that a person with gratefulness is much more happier and successful compared to a person who does not imbibe this quality. But even if I talk of data and statistics, and you want to be successful, you want to be powerful, you want to rule the world, gratefulness has been shown as one of the most powerful tools in making you very powerful. How, how, like, it looks so contrarian, no? That while you think that you are all powerful, you're God's gift to mankind. And here, gratefulness is one singular factor which determines how powerful you would become. Thanks for that. So that's the second point which I wanted you to keep in mind. Third, I also want you to realize and understand that while we talk about, a lot of people ask me this question, are you not very proud that today most of the global CEOs of large corporations and companies are Indian? You must have heard that. There's a huge list of every big company in the world is being led by Indian. A lot of people ask me this question, are you proud about it? And I say, no, I'm not. And then they ask me, why do you say so? I say simply this. All the global CEOs heading large companies across the world are creating wealth for organizations and countries, and I don't see that happening in India. So why should I feel proud about it? I want global entrepreneurs. I want global companies to be created in India because the same CEOs are able to do so in foreign countries and lands and build such powerful institutions, build such powerful companies. If you look at the market capitalization of some of these companies, is bigger than most countries. Just one country has more wealth than most countries have, created by Indians. Should it not happen, as time has come, that these kind of companies get created in India? So one of my expectations from the bright kids that I see here in front of me is that you will do well in life, but keep in your mind that can you create global companies in times to come? Can you be the innovators, the ones that people talk about? And 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if I'm alive and people ask me, do you feel proud? And I would say, yes, I feel proud today. Because today, in my country, I have entrepreneurs, I have people who are creating companies and corporations and organizations which are ruling the world and which have creation of wealth, talent, and employment which can transform my entire country to become the global power, which it should be, rightfully so. I think that is one of my clear expectations when I talk to the youth. So the charm of becoming first as a country when you're moving ahead, charm was of getting a good job, then the charm was of becoming a CEO. Now, time has come to create large companies. How to do so? I have been lucky to build this company as an employee, founding this company from scratch to what it is today, to over 13, 14 crore customers, one of the largest company in the country, one of the most valued companies in Asia. One of my learnings in building companies is what I want to share with you, because my expectations from each one of you would be to create large companies, global. The first lesson which I learned was, as we were building this journey was, people are very important. They are not assets, they're not tools, they're not to be exploited. They are your friends in the journey that you embark upon. They are your brothers and sisters in the journey that you embark upon. If you can't love your people, If you can't die for your people, if you can't stand for them, you will not be able to create organizations and companies which last for hundreds. So the first test for you as you progress in this journey and as you go more and more powerful and as you create bigger and bigger organizations is that do you really feel for people who are around you? Now, they may not be at times up to your liking. They may not be at times up to what you expect them to deliver. They may not at times be fair. They may not at times be the way you want them to be. But then the question that I have for you is, are your brothers and sisters, cousins, family members always fair to you, always at times good to you? But don't they stick with you at all points of time? So why do you expect everybody to behave or be the way you want them to see? Every human being is very special and very unique in their own way. They'll have their own characteristic, they'll have their own charm, they'll have their own thinking. Respect. Respect every individual that you meet. Be it the water boy, be it the prime minister, be it the president of the country. Equal respect for all. Respect from you should not be determined on the money, power, fame of a person. Respect for you should be equal to everybody you meet and genuine respect. If you have this one thought in you and you implement this well, I promise you, you will build a very good, powerful person. Second is never be in awe of technology. Never be in awe. It's a tool. You are computer science engineers. Technology is a tool to serve humanity. Always remember this. Any technology that you see is a tool to serve humanity. It cannot be bigger than humanity in times to come. You hear about all this talk of ChatGPT, AI, you hear talk of ethics, you talk of moral. Remember, as you build organizations, any tool that you have is to serve humanity and to serve society and to serve your country. If this is very clear to you, you will build good organizations. If your organization is not solving societal issues, is not solving the issues which is relevant for the family, not solving issues which is relevant to the common man, you will not be able to create organizations and companies which shall last for hundreds of years, and you shall not be able to create organizations which will be of large size, global, and which is there. So always when you have this challenge in mind, think about it. Am I solving some societal issue? Am I making a difference to humanity? Will what I do be good for people? If this answer is yes, go ahead. The third thing which I learned over time was, to give you my background, I'm a scientist by education into business. And I've never had any training in sales. If you search me up, I'm recognized as one of the best salespeople in insurance. Insurance sales is difficult over time. A lot of people ask me, how did you do sales? Because sales, typically the impression is that the salesperson would have to lie, would have to bluff or hide some truth to push sales. And I would think I never had to do that. I always had to be honest in what I said to my customers and think what will actually be good for them. I have recommended to my customer my competitor's product because for me, my customer had to get a solution which he or she was looking for. It did not matter whether it came from my company or it came from anybody else. I had to deliver to and I had to make my company better and the best. So every time I come to a customer and the customer demands a solution, I should be able to provide for my company and not look for solution given. Honesty, integrity, ethics, values has always played for me in the 32 years of my job. Not once did I have to compromise in what I had to say in terms of what I believed in, be it with the shareholders, be it with the people, be it with the customer. Never have I failed on being. So when you're in the crossroad of a dilemma, when you're talking to media, when you're talking to shareholders, when you're giving a talk like this, and you have this crossroad dilemma, and somebody asks you a question, a difficult question, and you think that I can tell easy answer, choose the difficult answer. Choose to tell the truth. Choose to tell what you feel is right from the core of your heart. That would make a huge difference in the way you would build, organize, and people. The last thing which I want to speak in building organizations from my perspective was the constant hunger, the childlike enthusiasm to always look for what is next, to what should I do next, how should I push the bar. One success will never guarantee a success forever. It's a continuum. It's a passion. It's a hobby. If you succeed once, what should you do the next time? What should you do the third time? What has to be done, which has to be there? So let me give you an example, and I'll just prove it so you understand how do we keep on thinking what next. And I can give you many examples, but you have less time. But let me give you one which is very close to my heart, which I'm working on currently. If you look at insurance sales, in this world, when I ask this question, and I ask this question to millions of people, who amongst you got excited to buy insurance? कि आज मैं insurance खरीद के रहूँगा या रहूँगी, come what may, I'll buy. The answer is always no. Nobody gets excited to buy insurance. But insurance is such a relevant thing. Do you realize that in India's economy, 40% of infrastructure spent by the government insurance money, 9% stock money, insurance money, 10 crore Indians go below poverty line because they don't have insurance cover. Do you realize the kind of impact insurance has on individual lives and society is huge? And for the cost which is negligible is amazing. But the human brain is so wired, it does not see the risk. But when somebody talks to you for 5 minutes, you buy insurance. That is what happens. It's actually very, very good. It plays a very powerful role in economic growth, for societal growth. It's there. But nobody gets excited to buy insurance. You are excited to buy clothes, handbags, cars, bikes, house, take loan. So most businesses, if you look at, be it e-commerce, be it banking, be it consumables, happens because you want to buy that. There's a desire for you to buy that. And then there is innovation. In insurance, the desire is not there, but it's a very important tool. When you have a conversation, it tells. This has been for hundreds of years. How do you change this? That you have a desire to buy a product, which is insurance. So the first thing which we thought was, if I look at India now, India earlier was joint family. It was self-insured in its own way. Today, all you youngsters are away from your home, you'll be working in some part of the world, your parents will be staying alone. So one of the biggest fears which I ask our young professionals is, they say, my biggest fear is my parents are staying alone, there's nobody with them. If something goes wrong, what can I do? The product we designed was that if you have this product of ours, if something goes wrong with your parent, we have sensors, detections and all, we send an ambulance over, pick them up, take them to hospital, the best hospital, get them treated, even before you are able to reach. And do you know the golden hour principle? In the first 3-4 hours, if they get treatment, they survive. If not, they have strokes, paralysis, or they die. And we get them home, even if you cannot make it. On our own, because we have sensors, we can detect fall, we can detect change in heartbeats, and they can press the SOS button, and we get the ambulances, the best doctor of town, the best hospital. Would you want to buy this product? This shift happens from a conversation, which is a push product, to a pull, because we take care of your worries. So this is an example. What I'm going to say is that constantly you have to keep on pushing the boundary. In any business you would be in, to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, and never stop, come what may, and have the enthusiasm desire. Last, I have failed many times, more than I've succeeded. Many times. People have laughed at me, people have not believed my story, shareholders not believed my story when I said we should do this, we should transform the way it looks like, we should be paying claims in 20 seconds, we should be paying claims when the customer asks for it. A lot of people would laugh at me and say this is very stupid. When people laughed at me and people did not believe me, when I failed, I never felt bad. Never. Why should you feel bad? You're doing something which you enjoy. Times you'll fail, sometimes you'll succeed, sometimes you'll do good, sometimes you'll do bad. It's perfectly fine. You're human. You will fail in life. Till now, most of you have been very successful. You have joined a good university, got a good degree. Maybe you never failed in your life till now. But there will be moments in your life. I've yet to meet a human being who says he or she has never failed in whatever they did. I've yet to meet. How do you handle your failures? How do you handle dejection? How do you handle rejection? Shall decide whether you shall become the global entrepreneur. That moment when you fail, when people laugh at you, how do you handle that? Shall decide what you will be. Don't worry about buying big cars, buying big houses, branded clothes. You will get it all. You are blessed to be in India in this time. India's growth story will happen on its own. If you open a tea shop also, I promise you, in 20 years' time, you'll be a millionaire. That's what India is today. We do not realize and we don't feel blessed to be in India right now. It's an amazing growth story for no reason, just simply this. We have huge demographic dividend. I was chairman of Indo-German Chambers. I take trade delegations. I went with Mr. Modi to Hanover Fair also. A lot of times I would go to these foreign countries, leading trade delegations, and I would see that they would be jealous of a demographic dividend. I never understood that. What does it mean? The amount of youth that India has is not in the world. And some of you are traveling the world, and most people sitting in the house do. I'd ask them that 10 years back, when they would go to a Melbourne, a Sydney, a Toronto, a New York, how many Indians they would see on the street. And today when you go, every third person I see on the street is an Indian. Every third person. I go to university colleges, every half of the kids there are Indians, Chinese, which are there, no. Now China again has issued a demographic dividend. They had a one-child policy, forget that. It's rapidly going to catch up. The youngsters will get less than the old people. The only country in this world with such a powerful young people is going to be India. Which means huge consumption, huge market, huge talent. You will rule the world, you will rule the country. India will keep on growing for the next 20, 30 years. India will become a superpower. You are going to enter the workforce in such a blessed time. So all that you have dreamt about, you will get it. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about your pay package. Don't worry about what cars you have. Don't worry about your friends have got. Because sooner or later, each one of you get it. But don't forget the points I mentioned. Because that will determine whether you would be the all-powerful person getting or be blessed, be grateful, be thankful. No? It was such a pleasure talking to you. It's a pleasure being here.